This episode touches on experiences of control, isolation, and emotional harm within a relationship. If you find this content difficult, please listen with care and take breaks if needed. These stories are shared to bring awareness and to remind you that you are not alone. Hi, and welcome back to episode 48 of After the Quiet. When I broke my ankle, there was one detail that changed everything. It was my right ankle, which meant I couldn't drive. And if you're a parent of 3 kids, you know driving isn't just convenience. It's survival. I remember that first morning so clearly. I was sitting at the kitchen table, having breakfast with the kids, staring at the car keys on the counter. They were right there, but they were useless. I couldn't use them. And for the first time, it really hit me. I had no idea how I was going to get through the day. My school was only 10 minutes away. 10 minutes. For the first week, he drove me. We would get in the car together, quiet mornings, quick drives. It felt manageable, temporary, like we were getting through something together. And then, just like that, he stopped. He refused to drive me anymore. There wasn't a real conversation. No planning. No problem solving. Just a quiet shift into figure it out. But there was nothing to figure out. I couldn't drive. So I had to make a decision that felt much bigger than it should have. I took a leave from work for the rest of the school year. And I remember how heavy that felt. Because I wasn't just staying home. I was stepping away from a part of who I was. My routine, my independence, my identity outside of being a mom. And no one really stopped to ask me what it felt like for me. So my world got smaller. I stayed home with my daughter. My boys started taking the bus to and from school. And the house got quiet. Too quiet sometimes. The hum of the dishwasher, cartoons playing in the background, the sound of my daughter's little footsteps following me from room to room. That became my world. And at first, I told myself this might actually be a good thing. I could finally keep up with everything. Laundry done during the day, meals prepped before the evening rush, the house clean, everything in its place. I wasn't running anymore. I wasn't exhausted in the same way. And then something else started happening. He began coming home during his lunch breaks. He would stop by in the middle of the day. We would sit together, eat, talk. Sometimes it even felt easy. Like the version of us I had been hoping for was finally showing up. During those moments, I felt like we were connecting again. Like maybe things were getting better. Like maybe the tension I had been feeling for months was finally easing. But there was a contrast I didn't fully see at the time. Because during the day, we talked like everything was normal. And at night, nothing had changed. He was still gone for hours at the gym. I was still alone with the kids. Still managing everything. Still exhausted. But those small daytime moments, they were enough to make me believe things were improving. I wanted to believe it. I needed to believe it. Looking back now, I understand something I couldn't see then. It didn't feel better because things were healthier. It felt better because I had less independence. I couldn't leave. I couldn't go anywhere without relying on him. I couldn't escape the environment even for a short drive. I didn't call it control back then. I called it circumstances. I told myself it was temporary. But deep down, there was a quiet feeling I couldn't name. Like I had lost more than just the ability to drive. And of course he seemed happier. Everything was exactly how he wanted it. I was home, available, focused on the house, focused on the kids. There was no outside world pulling me away. No space for me to question things. No space for me to step back and see clearly. I thought we were reconnecting, but I wasn't healing. I was shrinking. Because real connection doesn't come from dependency. It doesn't come from having fewer choices. And it definitely doesn't come from being stuck. This is after the quiet. And sometimes what feels like things getting better is actually just you having fewer ways to see that they're not. Please remember to subscribe to this podcast and share it with others who might need to hear my story. And also join me on Instagram at after.the.quiet. If you recognize parts of my story in your own, please reach out to someone who can give you support, or look for that support in your community. You are not weak for needing help. You are human. Your voice deserves to be heard.